Now, dear students, till now we have used edge cut layer to create or draw the boundaries of our PCB. Now it's time to draw the tracks. On the right side and in the appearance section you see here layers. These are all the list of layers. From these layers we have used edge cut to draw the boundaries. Now we will be using copper layers to draw our tracks or to connect our components using these copper layers. Currently I have selected two copper layers, front copper layer and bottom copper layer. In KiCad you can also add more number of copper layers, but currently our circuit is a little simple, which can easily be drawn on our two copper layers. But if you have a complex circuit where you want to add more number of layers, you can do so by going to this board setup. Click on the board setup and a window will open up where you can increase the number of copper layers. In the board stack up you can go to physical stack up. Here you see I have choose two copper layers. You can choose up to 32 number of copper layers. If let's say I select 4 copper layers, in this window you see that there are more copper layers added. Inner 1 copper layer added, inner 2 copper layer added, and between each copper layer there is a dielectric. So these are two copper layers, and the number 3 is the front copper layer and 4 is the back copper layer. If I hit OK, on the right side you can see that two more copper layers are now added. As my PCB requirement can easily be fulfilled using two copper layers, so I again change this back to two copper layers and hit OK. Now you can see on the right side that I have now two copper layers, front and back. You have to first of all choose the copper layer in which layer you want to draw the track. If let's say in the front copper layer, if I choose front copper layer, and this is the tool route track, if I click on it and if I click somewhere here, you see that its color is red, and hit finish track. Now its color is red as I have chosen this in the front copper layer. I have selected front copper layer and drawn a track. That's why its color is red. The coloring scheme, whichever layer you use, like its color is red, and this is another color of bottom copper layer, I choose this, and if I now draw a track, this will be blue. Right click and finish the track. So the color will specify in which layer we are working. So let's delete these both. I selected and hit delete. Now I am going to work in front copper layer. I choose front copper layer and choose this route track tool. Click on this. Now I am going to draw the tracks between the components. I have chosen the route track. Then a little zoom in. You can see over here that 1 and 2 pins should be connected with one another. So I click on it and you see it's a track waiting for the second point where I should click so that it should be connected with that. But as our regulators which we have used can give a current up to 1 ampere, but this track is not enough to support the 1 ampere current. So I must increase the width of this track. In order to increase the width of this track, first of all you have to click over here, which I am already have clicked, then hit Q on your keyboard. Hit Q. This will open up a window where you can change the width of the track. For 1 ampere current, 50 mils width is sufficient. The 50 mils width track can support 1 ampere current. But I am using in mm, so when we convert into mils, 50 mils into millimeters, it comes out to be 1.2 something. But on the safer side, I am going to draw a track of 1.5 mm. This is the track width 1.5 mm and hit OK. Now you can see our track is now wider. Now this can support 1 ampere current. So first of all, select on the pin number 1, then again go to pin 2 and select over here, and you can see I have drawn a track between pin number 1 and 2. Similarly, let's draw the remaining of the tracks on this PCB. Over here, click over here, and you can take your track from this side and click over here a little further. Click over here and draw over here. A little track is going outside. I choose it and hit delete to remove that track. Now again in the front copper layer, let's draw the remaining track and click over here. You can also see that these white lines are the retinas, the points between which I have drawn the tracks. There are no white lines. These white lines are the retinas, gives us an indication that there is a connection between the terminals. I have seen that my track is a little bit overlapping on this LED, so I click on it and move a little down over here. Hit Control Save, and let's draw the remaining tracks. Front copper, hit tracks, click over here and click over this terminal of the LED. Similarly, click over here, make sure that the tracks are entering our terminal at an angle of 90 degree. Do not and connect with the terminal at some other angle other than 90 degree. Let me show you what I am saying. Let's connect it. This way. Make sure that the PCB that the track should be connected at an angle of 90 degree with the pin. In this way, you should avoid this way to connect with the terminals. So let Control Z, make sure that they should be at 90 degree. Hit escape, choose tracks, click over here, and let's connect with this capacitor, and let's connect this with this one and connect this with this one, and let's connect this pin, this one, and there is also need to connect this one. Let's connect this by moving from here and connect with this one. So there is also a connection between this point and this point. Now, and let's draw the track between resistor and this LED. Okay, what else is left? Only ground connections are left. Ground. Okay, this resistor is also left to connect with the nuts. So let's connect this resistor using this track over here. Only ground connection is that. I am leaving ground to show you how we can easily connect all the grounds together. Okay, ground, and you can also connect this with this one, and this 3 needs to be connected with this one, so I can click over here. Let's move this capacitor a little on the left side like this, and now click front copper, click on the tracks, join this with this one and this with this. So we have drawn our tracks. I think only ground plane is left. Only ground. This is ground. This we also have connected. This ground needs to be connected with this ground and this ground. Now this is we have worked in front copper layer. So let's see if I can connect or show you a track that can be routed on the bottom copper. So let's select the bottom copper, hit route tracks, and let's route this from the click on this terminal, click this ground with this one, and then this ground I can bring this is the track which is on the bottom side of the PCB. So I can move over here and connect with this terminal. On the bottom side I can also connect this ground with this one and this ground with this terminal. So we can also connect this with this one. Okay, now we have drawn our track on the front copper as well as on the bottom or the back copper of the PCB or the bottom of the PCB. If I select front copper, you see that my front copper are all in red color, that gets highlighted. If I use bottom copper, my all the copper layer that is on the copper tracks on the bottom, that is highlighted. So let's check this in our 3D viewer how it looks. View to 3D view. You can see over here that the tracks on the front copper are shown here because I am looking into the front of my PCB, and if I flip my PCB, and you can see that these are the tracks that are on the bottom of my PCB or on the bottom copper layer. So in the next video I will show you how to connect the remaining of the grounds. I can